All right, this video is going to be my final thoughts living in the Dominican Republic. This is going to conclude the DR saga, the DR era. But I think this video will still help some of you guys who probably never even been in the country and give you a little insight about living in the Dominican Republic and just visiting as well. So when I got to the Dominican Republic, I noticed that there were a lot of foreigners residing there, with businesses, families, or just living there. And I can see why, especially if you're somebody who fantasizes about living that island, Caribbean, laid back kind of lifestyle. You got to think about it. Dominican Republic, Latin people, the Latin culture is a little bit more laid back. And then it's in the Caribbean. Caribbean culture in general is just a little bit more laid back. So if you're somebody who's from a country where it's a lot of the culture is more work, make as much money as you can, which there's no problem with that, but maybe you're at a point in your life where you're just trying to settle down, take things a little slower, and just enjoy life and not be stressed out from the work 80 hours per week mentality, or you're just a retiree or whatever. I think the DR would be great for that. And another thing you have to keep in mind, which I'm sure you guys know already, but the Dominican Republic is an island, or at least 2/3 of an island. And so getting around is easy. You can be in the city one day. Next day you can be up in the mountains. Third day you can be on the beach with the white sand going through your toes, the ocean breeze hitting your face, or most of you guys watching, or a lot of you guys watching, probably retirees, so the breeze hitting your bald head. In the Dominican Republic, there's no such thing as a long distance relationship because it's so easy to get around and it's quick due to the size. If you're a man watching this, you can be dating a girl on the other side of the island, and there's no problem because chances are during the week she's probably working, so you can't see her. But then on the weekend, just catch a quick bus, go see her, go hang out with her, and then Sunday head back home and then get back to work or whatever. The DR is a beautiful country. I think it's a good place if you ever fantasize about living that island type lifestyle where you wake up, you take 2 steps out your door, and then all you feel is sand and you just hear the waves, from your condo. Another point is affordability. Now, if you're somebody who's from a more expensive, you're from a country where the cost of living is a little bit more expensive, going to the DR, especially if you have like the US, the dollar or the euro or another strong currency, your money can go farther, which can help relieve stress. Because I believe finances are one of the main causes of stress. So if you can go to a country where once you touch down, you're 2 times richer, that's great. Now, I do have to point out that when living overseas, not everything is cheaper. Plus, the DR is an island, so a lot of things are imported. So those things are going to be taxed. For example, electronics, trying to buy a phone, maybe a vehicle, certain clothing, shoes, basically name brand items from the States. Another great thing is the easy or relaxed visa requirements. At least coming from the US, once you touch down in the DR, you get a 30-day snap. If you overstay, how I understand it, it's pretty much no problem. You just pay a fee, you leave, and then if you want to come back, you're not going to be blacklisted or be on Dominican's most wanted list when you get back to the airport. So I'm going to put on the screen a list of the fees that you pay depending on how long you overstayed. So for example, I overstayed, I want to say 10 to 11 months. When I was leaving at the airport, I paid my fee, which was 5,000 pesos, like maybe $86 or something. All right, got on the plane, and then a little while later, I came back. They let me in, no questions asked, and bam. And if you notice on the document, they got fees for up to like years. I'm not too familiar with overstaying, 10 years in the DR, nor am I that familiar with the permanent resident visa. But just as far as, going to the island and overstaying, a few months, maybe a couple years, I don't really think is that big of a problem. So I kind of like that. Whereas some other countries, it's like you only get 6 months and you can't come back for, 365 days. These last 2 points are going to go hand in hand. All right, so the first one is the proximity from, at least if you're an American watching this, how close the DR is to the States. I want to say it's like 2 hours from Florida, and then if you're from, East Coast, New York or something, maybe 4-ish hours. So that's great for people who need to get back frequently to the US, whether it be for, family situations, graduation, maybe you have business, real estate that you have to keep check on. Also, if you're somebody who prefers as far as when it comes to medical. Maybe you want to get more invasive procedures back home. So I love that the DR is not too far away from the US. And the last point I want to bring up is the American influence on the country. Now, this can be a good or bad thing depending on your perspective, but I think this can be great for people who would like to reside overseas, but you're not looking for a complete 180 type lifestyle, right? You don't want to go from living in the US to all of a sudden living in Cambodia, or living in the Amazons, right? You want to live in a country where it's different, but at the same time, you still have some of the comforts of your home country. So when you're in the DR, you're going to see, at least in Santo Domingo, you're going to see a lot of American franchises, companies, a lot of Dominicans either been to the States. So again, great for those who want to take a step as far as moving overseas, but you're not looking for just a complete 180 change of lifestyle. So that's going to conclude the video. These are just my final thoughts on living in the Dominican Republic. My time here was interesting. I want to say I can tell why I understand why a lot of foreigners have decided to reside there, start up businesses there, or even start up families there. And there are also some other things I'd even bring up, like the food. The food is amazing, very delicious. The people, you got some very friendly people. You got to realize it's Latin culture, so very open and just joyful. And then if you're a male watching this, the females, I didn't even get into that, but that's going to conclude the video. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that it's helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys in a new country. All right, so catch you guys at the next one. Deuces. Also, shameless plug, the ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, is completed for anybody who's interested. Now, I know most people, when they go to the DR, y'all trying to head to the beach. Santo Domingo, the capital, is probably the last thing on your mind. But there may be some people out there who hasn't really explored the city, maybe just because a little intimidated, or they just don't know much about it, where to go, because it's the capital, man. It's a hustle and bustle. So this ebook can help you with that and just give some general tips and recommendations just for the country in general. So if you're interested, link down below. You get on Amazon and it won't break the bank. So yep, that's the end of the video.